Hello, future leaders. A very good evening and a warm welcome to the latest episode of IRE Talks, powered by GIBS Business School. I'm Palak Bansal, and today, the Indian food industry is undergoing a very remarkable evolution, spurred by a surge of innovations, whether it's diverse tastes, preferences, or dietary needs. And from groundbreaking ingredients and flavors to sustainable packaging and cutting edge food technologies, these innovations are revolutionizing how customers engage with food. It is with great pleasure that I introduce today to you our esteemed guest for this talk, which is Mr. Rajeev Khera. He comes with over 25 years of invaluable experience in business development and alliance management. Rajiv stands as a beacon of wisdom and innovation in the entrepreneurial world. His latest venture, Chakki Peesing, a pioneering technology-based agri-food tech startup, underscores his relentless commitment to revolutionizing industries through innovation. Rajiv's entrepreneurial spirit knows no bounds, as evidenced by his role in guiding and mentoring businesses like Mind for Nine, a venture that even graced the prestigious stage of Shark Tank. His expertise spans strategic thinking, business finance, brand building, marketing, and making him a true luminary in the business landscape. Now, before we head into today's IRE talk and discuss the innovations in the food industry, let me take a moment and introduce the platform IRE Talks to our new audiences and our esteemed speaker, Mr. Rajiv. At GIBS IRE Talks, powered by GIBS Business School, we envision a world where knowledge, inspiration, and innovation are boundless, accessible to all, and unceasingly transformative. Our vision is to be the pioneer that transcends educational boundaries, fostering a global community of lifelong learners, forward thinkers, and change makers. At GIBS, we are not your typical B school. We believe in learning by doing that encourages new ideas, supports research, and sparks the spirit of entrepreneurship. Our goal is to help people like all of you reach your full potential, both personally and professionally. GIBSB School is more than a school, it's a place where innovation is encouraged, connections are made, and success is reimagined. So, without any further ado, now I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Rajiv, and we are right ready to delve into today's topic. Over to you,
Thanks,
Rajiv.
Palak. Thanks, Palak, for your warm introduction and kind words. And I'm thankful to IRE Talks and GIBS for having me here and giving me this opportunity to share my experience and expertise with a set of students and maybe some other people also joining in. The idea is today is to understand that innovation is an underlying requirement in any business or for that matter any aspect of life. Okay, so today we will talk about how innovation is happening and bound to happen in the food industry, why it is happening, why it is required, and what changes does it make into the food industry. I'll give you a lot of good examples in the industry. I may not be able to relate or may not support all the ideas. For example, when many packaged brands are there, plastic brands are there, I may not support them as an individual. But from the perspective of a session, we need to understand what kind of innovations they bring to the table. So I will start with a small presentation. It is just for your reference. There is no deep discussion in the presentation. Just for your reference, what topics we are discussing. I'm sharing my screen here. Well, can you confirm this is visible to all?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, so let's, for next 30-35 minutes, I will tell you all the aspects of food industry innovations, which I am aware, which I have experienced, which I have witnessed, and how, as students, you can learn from these innovations and make them a part of your journey when you open your own business or you become a part of a company or a corporate. Okay. So I want to start with a story first. The story of square watermelon. Before that, once we go into the story, I want all the students. Meanwhile, we will discuss that in the later half when we have the question and answer. But Before that, why don't you type one of the food brand, which you are highly impressed with? Just type your answers in the question and answer session. Okay, so let me tell you the story of square watermelon. It sounds interesting. First of all, it looks unreal. It looks somebody has created an AI image of a watermelon. But let me tell you the real story of square watermelon. Somewhere in Japan, there was a farmer who tried selling his watermelons to a retail store. And this retail store guy always discouraged him by saying that, it takes a lot of space in my retail outlet, and retail, space is very expensive. You understand what I keep here should sell. And your watermelon, because of its round shape, it takes a lot of space. And just, to, move him away from the discussion, he says, if you make them square, I will keep them. Now this guy goes, and I'll tell you how do they do it also. And within next, crop, 2-3 months from that, he brings in square watermelons. And the shopkeeper was amazed. How come he produced square watermelon? It is not natural. Okay. What he used is he got some plastic molds created. And when the watermelon was small, he put them under those plastic transparent molds and let it grow to the shape of a cube. Okay, this is how he created. And today, after this innovation, lot of people are creating fruits in different shapes: heart shape, Buddha shape. There are Buddha shape pears available, heart shape fruits available. But this is what I call as true innovation, and against a particular requirement of people, consumer, and individual. Okay, let's start with this story. Now, before we jump into the innovation part of it, let's understand the food industry. Why food is required. So let me tell you, my venture Chakki Peesing, it was started in 2020. I was into a technology company. I've been into technology sales all this while for around 22 years. During COVID, it struck me that the factories are shut down, the airlines are shut down, the transportation is not there, but still food is required. Food is such a necessity that no matter what, food is required. And I recall those days of lockdown. Everyone was making delicious food at home. We have millions of bakers, developed during those times. Millions of people making jalebis at home. Never thinkable, right? So this is what the necessity was. Okay, and this is where the importance of food industry comes in. And that's why I'm in business. If somebody asks me why I'm in business, I'm in business because of this. Okay, let's look at what do you get the value from food. Whenever you order from Swiggy, Zomato, you buy a bread, make a sandwich, whatever. But what is out of this list you see on the right? These are the kind of values which we look forward from our food ingredients. Either we get a very good quality ingredients, authentic. So if somebody says I get my haldi from Salem, he needs to know how you prove that haldi is coming from Salem. I have highlighted convenience because you will realize in later slides, convenience is topping the chart as far as food industry expectation is concerned from the consumer point of view. Okay. Health and wellness, a very big growing trend, I'm telling. Very big growing trend, especially after COVID. People are realizing that this is something which we should never lose up. Taste and flavor, they are the very natural requirement from food. Variety and innovation, again, lot of disposable income with people. Okay, they need variety. Nobody but just want to settle for that, a platter of 2 chapatis and a sabji and a dal today. Okay, or maybe a
Pineapple pizzas, chocolate sandwiches. I think those are
everything.
innovations. Yes.
Yeah, variety and innovation. We'll see in the later slide how people have innovated. Affordability. So in India, home cooking is prevailing still. We might think that a lot of people are eating out, but no, still home cooking is a lot of it's very popular. Okay, so affordability is important. Customization. Yes, if I'm ordering a pizza, If you just push me for your topics, I may not order from you. Okay, I want to remove those mushrooms, change them with bell peppers, you have to do it. Okay. Sustainability, yes, everyone is today realizing that no, we cannot just let this planet go off our hands just like that. What we are doing, it has to be done responsibly. Single use of plastic, single use plastic, okay, food waste. I think most of the people that understand. They may not be able to practice to their 100%, but they understand. Ethical practices, by ethical practices, I mean here is, a lot of veggies are, loaded with pesticide, colors, okay, animal cruelty at farms, okay. People are concerned about them. Today in the world of social media, everything is transparent. Recently in an interview, Mr. Anupam Mittal said, food industry has to become transparent. There is no other way. Okay, you have to put very clearly what you're doing and what you're processing and giving it to the consumer. Community engagement. Community engagement is another aspect. Food is something like a festival for everybody. Okay, so we want to engage with community. So it, especially in restaurant kind of setup, we need to see what are the kind of facilities available where we can engage with our community. Food safety and hygiene, that goes without saying. Everyone wants minimum these things to coming as a value proposition from the food industry. Having said or having learned the value proposition of food industry, let's go to the next slide. Why one should innovate in business? Why should we innovate? Why can't we simply do what we were doing? I would like to bring in the example of Kodak here. Kodak was such a glorified company in their time when they were making those physical cameras and reels. Okay, every good picture was called a Kodak moment. Today they don't exist. Okay, because they couldn't innovate. They couldn't think beyond what they were doing. This is why one has to innovate in business. Two very big reasons for innovation is sustainable growth and competitive advantage. One is you need to grow. Markets are changing very fast. Yesterday, I came to know about a startup, for example, who can shoot model kind of photo shoots without the models. They have developed an AI-based tool. Okay, so imagine overnight some of the fashion photographers, which are working for Myntra and other marketplaces, may just go out of employment if that works for them, right? So technology disruption can really, really impact your game in a big way. You should be prepared. So that's why I'm saying sustainable growth, if you are looking forward for, you should innovate. Competitive advantage. See, this world is full of brands. How does your brand stand? If I am not able to have that competitive advantage in terms of innovation, and when we say innovation, mostly we get confused by we need to bring a new product, we need to innovate or discover a new product. No, you don't have to. It's not always about a new product. Sometimes it is about delivering the way it can be conveniently eaten. Okay. For example, if you are giving somebody seeds, if you attach a pouch to it where he can keep the seed chilkas, this is innovation. Ice creams coming in matkas, I will show you some more examples. So innovation is not limited to just product. It goes much beyond the product, and we will see in the coming slides. Next 4 slides will talk about more in detail why we should innovate in business. Number one, meeting evolving consumer demands. Consumer is very, very demanding nowadays. Okay. If some people are traveling out of country, okay, once they come back from there, they want to see the same experience. They want to learn from people what all things are available from a business and what all things they can enjoy from a business. Ready to eat has become a norm. Most of the products have to be ready to eat. Dals and chapatis are available in a ready-to-eat format today. Earlier, we never thought they could be preserved beyond 1 day or 2 days. Okay, at home without any packaging, we can't preserve our dal for more than 2 days without a refrigerator. Okay. Then home deliveries. And third is the kind of packaging expected when you're getting these foods at home. Okay. So it has to come in a proper, it can't be just mixed up. Okay. If there are four kind of chutneys coming with the dosa, it has to come in a proper container. If I need a salan with my biryani, then I need it. It's not because I'm having food at home, I have to do without a salan. Okay. So these are the evolving consumer demands which which make you innovate, which make you think that you have to innovate. Efficient resource utilization. So as a manufacturer, let me share my experience with you. We need to constantly innovate in production in order to have better utilization of our resources. For example, shelf life. Food is a perishable item. We need to continuously look at the ways to increase the shelf life of the product without harming the consumer with a lot of preservative and chemicals. Okay, so there are a lot of ways to do it, but this is what is called as effective, resource utilization. Minimum waste. You will be very shocked to know 40% of the food ever produced on this earth is wasted. 40% of it, and many of it can be attributed to these, shelf lives. So if you pick up a product from the shelf, okay, it says best before, you will just throw it away after that. The reality is it is best before that date, but it may not got rotten. It may have not reached that stage where it's not consumable. Okay. So these kind of things are pushing a lot of food waste, where companies are nowadays working with a zero waste kind of facility. Chakki Peesing, for example, my venture is a zero waste facility. We produce what we sell. We produce whatever is ordered by the customer to us. In my factory, you won't see a packaged bag which is already produced before an order is arrived. Okay. Production efficiency. Again, we need to have various machines and procedures in place to make sure that we are able to use our raw ingredients to the fullest. We are not wasting any part of it. One more reason you have to have innovation is product differentiation. In a market full of brands and a country full of 140 crore people, if you don't differentiate, you don't stand out. Let me ask this example to everybody, and you can share your experience on the chat. When you go to a retail store, you often pick two kind of brands. One that is known to you, which you have already experienced. Or if you want to try something new, you will definitely go for the most attractive looking and the most price efficient brand. Okay, this is where the product differentiation comes in. Second product differentiation comes in at the level of product itself. Millets, for example, last year was celebrated as International Year of Millets. Everybody is putting a lot of focus around millets today. Okay, can everything be made in millets? Yes, absolutely. We can introduce millets in every part of food what we do today. Okay, it may not be that tasty, but as soon as we it gets onto our taste buds, I think we'll start liking those products. So these are product differentiation. If there are 100 kind of attas in the market, if I am selling 101th atta, it may not sell. So that's why I have to innovate. Enhance brand reputation. When a company is not innovating, they are not considered to be a great company. Okay, they have to continuously evolve and innovate in order to be perceived as a big company with a big brand repute. Okay, if you are not coming, for example, even a very big company in FMCG sector, if they don't launch few new products, after 1 or 2 years, people will think that no, that they are no good. They are just selling these products for last 20 years and they are not able to innovate anything. Okay, and without realizing, they will have a lot of directed customer towards people who are innovating continuously. So these are the four big reasons why innovation is required. Now let's look at the market trends and consumer demands. What are the current market trends and consumer preferences, and how the innovation is being impacted by this? So let's look at this. First one is healthy eating. I think healthy eating is it's a phenomena by now. Okay, I always tell people weight loss is something which everyone wants. Someone at 80 kg wants to become 75, 75 wants to become 65, 65 wants to become 58, 58 wants to become 52. It's a phenomena. Okay, it may not be healthy sometimes, but it's a phenomenon. And that also pushes the need for healthy eating. Healthy eating can be, perceived differently by different people, but healthy eating is a cult. Okay. It's one of the biggest trending trend in the country or worldwide. Second is ethically sourced. Everyone wants to know the product what you are giving to me, were they ethically sourced? Was there some harm except for non-vegetarian product? Was there some harm to the animal, when you are milking them for my milk? Okay. What kind of support system you have in terms of supply chain? Are you bringing it directly from the farmers? Are you able to give them good price for their produce? Okay. Or you are trying to exploit them? People are today, lot of awareness is around. Okay. So this is evolving consumer preferences. Lot of food products today carry a QR code which will help you source the actual supplier of that product, the actual farmer, the actual kisan, okay, who supplied that particular product. Okay. Why it is required? Because people want to know about it. Okay. How good a company is. Zero waste. I think i think with all the efforts being made in the globe, people are at least aware. They may not be able to practice this, but they are aware. And this is one of the very big demand nowadays. I have at least 15 to 20% consumers of mine at Chakki Peesing who are actively aware of that, whatever you are sending to me should have less and less waste, single use of plastic. They will keep on asking me whether I can return your jars or packets and bottles, you can reuse them. So that awareness is there. And that's, sensitiveness is also there for these kind of things. This will be a very interesting slide to look at. As I was telling you in the beginning, it is not always about product innovation. You don't have to find new products for innovation. So there are three examples I have put here, and all three are having different kind of innovations on. Oat milk, it's a very big trend in case you are not aware. Okay. Vegan people, they were relying on soya milk, which is not that very tasty actually. Okay. Almond milk is very costly. Oat milk is something which is trending very very fast. Okay. It is made of oats, and it is being used by vegan and even non-vegan people to control the use of regular milk, which is an animal product. Okay. So oat milk is one example of product innovation itself. You may not find traces of oat milk 5 years before this discussion. Okay. Nobody was using it. Today people are using it. On the right side, there is a biryani called biryani by kilo. There's nothing new in that biryani. Okay. Flavors, you can have hundreds of flavors in the biryani in the country by various people. Okay. What they did is they changed the game. Instead of giving platter, they started serving it by weight. Okay. And they were able to change the game actually. The kind of valuation and the kind of revenue these guys are making, okay, it is phenomenal. It means it was liked by consumers. Secondly, what they did is they cook biryani against order. I'm sure they must be keeping half cooked biryani at home, and they pack it in the handi and send it to you. In certain cases, they were also sending you light to keep it warm, the biryani. Okay. So these kind of innovations in just the way you are serving the food to the consumer, that is also innovation. So product, they have not innovated the product. I'll give you a classic example and a very small example which we are planning to do actually. So when you go for atta brands, okay, you will get only 5 kg atta minimum to start. Okay. Or you will get 1 kg in the market for people who are either single or there's no much use of wheat flour they're having. But that is very expensive. 1 kg atta will be very expensive. There is one category of around 2.5 kgs which doesn't exist. And I'm telling you, it may fly very well. It serves the purpose of a nuclear family or a single, a couple without kids kind of family for let's say 15, 20 days if they want to pick up that. So this will be an innovation in terms of just, the measurement. No product change, nothing, no changes, but it will be an innovation in itself. Okay. So these are the kind of innovation can be expected in the product. And there are hundreds of examples I'm telling, good gum. I'll tell you, recently I saw their pitch on Shark Tank and I was very, very happy. A very small thought, but they have implemented. When you use your chewing gums, okay, either people throw them in the dustbin or they will find a napkin to, put the chewing gum to throw in the dustbin. They have put a small napkin. Number of napkins are the same as the chewing gum in the box. Okay. So every time you consume a chewing gum, you have a very small napkin in the bag itself to put that chewing gum in the box, in that bag, in that paper, and throw it in the dustbin. First of all, it is responsible. Secondly, it is convenient. Thirdly, it is a very, very thoughtful idea. So these are product innovations. Both of all the three are them, in the food industry. Okay. So product innovation is a must in food industry because you have to take care of the people's taste buds. There are so many examples I would say. For example, now millet based snacks. Okay, plant-based milk alternatives. As I was telling you, oat milk. Okay, the coffees are available with almond milk. The milkshakes are available with almond milk. Okay, then fusion desserts. You have gulab jamun cheesecake nowadays. Okay, you have tandoori momos, you have makhani paneer pizza. Who would have thought these things? Okay, but you need to understand the consumer behavior and keep on innovating your products accordingly. Technology integration, a very, very important aspect of uh, innovation. So here what we are trying to do is we are bringing in technology to help solve consumers problem and make the production process efficient. I'll give you an example of how customization can be done with a complete automation. Okay, so there are a lot of automation tools in the factories to help you customize orders. They can pick and choose ingredients, specific ingredients on the basis of computers' instructions, and pack it in a particular cart. Okay, these are the kind of things which are driving the food industry crazy. Other things are very, very big example are Zomato and Swiggy. Let me tell you, around 15 years back, I always used to think we used to travel by train to my native in MP. So I always used to think, why we have to bring food from home? Can't I order it from somebody who's nearby and I give him my birth number and seat number and he can deliver the food. He can charge 100 rupees extra, 60 rupees extra. It was 15 years back I was thinking on these lines. Today it's a reality. No matter where you are located, no matter where you are, your restaurant is located, you can always order and get things within 30 to 40 minutes time. It has been made so convenient. This is just technology at its best. Okay. So, and there is a joke around it. There was a person who was not able to find an auto to his home. So he ordered the food from the nearby restaurant. When the Zomato person came to pick the food, he said, I'll go along with you to my home because you are going my home to deliver. So this is the kind of convenience they have created. Another example of food the technology integration is robotics, and it's for real by now. I'm telling you, the robotics are being used in the kitchens of restaurant. Definitely, they are making salads for you. They are making ingredients for you, and it is happening while I'm talking to you. So these kind of innovations are there. Then another thing is AI based tools. So I will show you some very interesting tool of Chakki Peesing. So it is giving the recommendation of what these people should be eating and why they should be eating. Okay. And if you want to buy a product of Chakki Peesing, which is matching with this requirement, you can just simply click and order them. See this. So this is the kind of innovation I'm talking about in the food industry. Okay. Personal nutrition is it's a reality. My requirement may be different from you, Palak, because of the age, because of my requirement, because of my
Absolutely.
yeah. So this is what is a reality. This is one of the example I wanted to give everybody what is happening in the space. And then smart kitchen appliances are there. If you look at kitchen appliances today in the very state of the art facilities, you can just fill your things and let them cook on their own, and there will be an intelligent guide for you to tell that it is cooked properly, not cooked properly. I'll give you another classic example without naming the brand. They have put some kind of AI tools in their kitchen to exactly measure whether their chefs are filling the momos with the right quantity of fillings on it. And AI can tell you at the end that how many percentage of momos were filled exactly with the right quantity and the right ingredients as well. So if you call it as paneer momos and put some veggies and paneer, they can actually differentiate if you are putting right amount of veggies and paneer in that or not. And it can give you a report of accuracy levels. This is the kind of technology integration I'm talking about. Sustainable practices. Now, sustainable practices, I'm giving you an example of Chakki Peesing cold press oils. Okay. Let's look at how we use various products which are the outcome of this process of making cold pressed oils, and effectively it's a zero waste product. Okay, so cold pressed oils are made at a room temperature from various seeds and various nuts and various kind of elements, like it could be mustard, it could be groundnut, it could be almond. And when you make cold pressed oils, you get three products. One, you get the oil cakes. So that is the leftover of that food ingredient after all the oil is extracted. Okay. Another part you get is some food particles are which are still there in the oil, which will get settled down eventually in next 3 to 4 days when you keep them in large tanks. Okay. So oil will come up and the food particles will settle down. These are the all three products while making cold press oils. And all these three products are used very efficiently in various ways. So oil is used for consumption as food. Okay. The oil cakes which are there can be used for multiple purposes. One purpose is animal feeder. Okay. It is mixed in the grass and all, and it is given to the animals. Another way is handling them for the beautification purposes. For example, almond flakes, they are crushed down as flours. They can be used as keto flour, which is a low carb flour. It can be used in various beauty ingredients also, okay, for your skin treatments and all, okay, and it can be used in other stuff also, okay. The third component, which is the food particle, again, it comes out in the shape of food particle little cakes also. It can again be used in the beauty industry or food industry. So this is what I call as a sustainable practice. It's a zero waste practice. Most of our products are working on a zero waste practice, in Chakki Peesing. Eco-friendly packaging. Okay. I think 10-15 years back, everybody was saying paper mat istemal karo, पेड़ खत्म हो जाएगा. Today everybody says please paper इस्तेमाल करो, plastic मत use करो. The reason is very simple. The priorities are changing. The way plastic is generated, everyone used plastic because there was a euphoria to move away from paper. Okay. We created a planet which is full of plastic. Okay. Everything is being put in the plastic, and inner packet in the plastic, then outer packet also in the plastic, and the whole thing again into a plastic packet. Okay. People are moving to a sustainable packaging nowadays. If I remember correctly, there is a German company which has launched our leaf-based dona and pattal, what we used to have our food in. Okay, they are making a fortune out of it. They are saying it's a leaf-based sustainable utensils, and you can utilize them in all kind of functions. So this is very much required. So food responsibility doesn't end only at food. It goes beyond that. Okay. Food packaging is one of the biggest consumer of plastic, and we need to take care of it. Sustainable sourcing, as I've already told you, we need to source organic as much possible. The definition of organic is not very clear in the country. Okay, that's why people are misled. But we need to understand that if somebody is, adding extra chemicals into your food, it is as good as attempt to murder. Actually, it's a slow poison. It's a slow poison. You're trying to kill somebody eventually, actually. Okay. And people have to be very sensitive to this, especially people who are into food industry. They should understand that their act like this is going to harm some people in a very big way. There are zero waste dining experiences nowadays in many restaurants. Compostable packagings are there. Okay, so these are the kind of practice which are required for innovation in the packaging. And lastly, marketing and branding innovations. So food industry is nothing without branding. If you don't brand properly, I don't think that you can sell your food products properly. I'm giving you an example of Nagin sauce. So Nagin sauce, what do they do is, other than marketing in the traditional conventional way, they also collaborate with, because see, you don't eat sauce directly. Let's understand this. So what happens? You need something to be eaten with it. So what they are doing is they are collaborating with various people who are into the food industry, making food out of those ingredients and making a collaborative social media campaign around what tastes good with what. So this is the kind of branding and marketing innovation I had been talking about. A lot of creative strategies to engage the consumers. Today, simply putting your pictures on Instagram is not going to sell a product or not going to attract many consumers. You have to tell the brand story. Okay, you have to tell the brand narrative, where it is coming from, why it exists, how it is solving your problem. Okay, this is one part, is experiential marketing, which means you give experience to people before they can take an informed decision. That is again a very much required thing nowadays. There are a lot of hosting food festivals, pop-up events, interactive workshops. You must have seen many people when they launch food product, they ask people to taste. We ourselves, sent almost 500 samples in Gurgaon, before people could start buying from us. So experiential marketing is a must, especially in food. Okay. Social media influence. Uh, the trend which has grown, the influencers, it's for real. Let me tell you, food products are something which people are just buying on the basis of their social media exposures. Hundreds of people will start buying something if some good influencer with good followers claim that she has or he has reduced 10 kg weight by eating this atta, okay, for last 3 months. Nobody will even ask for a research around that. Okay, so this is the kind of influence these people have. But these influencers can be positively utilized to help you create your brand, let people know about your brand, let people know about the recipes which can be prepared from your brand and the benefit it brings to the table. Okay, food trucks are there, for example. There are a lot of food trucks which are there. This is an example of marketing and branding innovation. Okay, there are a lot of big companies who have come into these small format restaurants ready to take. So you will find many big companies, fine dining restaurant. Okay, they will have a small format, minimum 4 or 5 items, limited 4 or 5 items, because they want to innovate. They want to go beyond what they had been doing. If you need to reach new level of consumers, you have to keep on innovating. So these are my insights and experiences around food industry and innovation in food industry. I hope I was able to, meet to your expectation, what you expected from this session. And we can open this house for a question and answer.
First of all, thank you so much, Rajiv, and that was a very informative session. We do have some questions from our audiences, and we can take them one by one. So the first one that we have is from Sanket Shetty, who asks, Sir, how is technology shaping the future of food production and supply chain management? I think, again, a very important question when it comes to food industry.
Okay. So let me tell you, food processing is using technology for a long, long time. However, now with the kind of requirements we have, from a semi-automatic plant to a fully automatic plant, okay, you must have heard very bad things about bread industry earlier. It was done in a very filthy manner, and people used to stay away from those breads because there was no hygienic process to manufacture bread. Today, many of the food ingredients or food articles, there is no touch of hand. There's no touch of hand. Everything is automated. The fully automated flour machines, for example, okay, you simply put wheat and you get a packaged atta out of it. Okay, so this is the level of automation which is available. Without that, today, a mass scaling is not possible. You need to have some kind of automation. Packing machines are there. Okay, packaging machines are there. Weighing machines are there. Multi-weight head weighers. So another example I'll give you is: have you ever wondered, in a namkeen packet of 50 grams, there are 20 ingredients? Who measures
Yeah.
them? Who calculates them? Who puts them inside and packs it? It's all done automatically. So this is the level of automation food industry is going through. Okay. And as far as supply chain is concerned, supply chain has already taken a big leap in terms of automation. If you look at last 10 years, the flourishing of e-commerce in the country after 2011-12, okay, when major marketplaces got launched, I think most of the logistic companies have aligned themselves to the technology. So they can, they have created various solutions for people like us to sell their product and send through their logistic. Consumer is also seamlessly getting that information that where the packet lies now. Okay. And they are collecting signatures, they are collecting cash on delivery. Cash on delivery is a very big example of how logistic companies have integrated such a tedious thing into their process. Okay, so this is how the supply chain has shifted. I hope I was able to answer this question.
Definitely. I hope that answers your question, Sanket. Moving on, we have Shivam who asks how to reduce plastic packing of food. Some part of the answer we did cover, when we talked about sustainable packaging and how, plastic is being replaced with paper. But what else would you like to add to it?
I will tell you, and I'll tell this very responsibly. I'm one of the manufacturer of food products. Unfortunately, a lot of biodegradable options are not food friendly. Okay, for example, flour,
Oh,
enzyme-based products, which are available as a biodegradable packaging, they are not suitable for flowers. They are not tested for flowers yet. I'm looking forward for some solution to come to me. So what happens is food, because of its nature, and it's because it can get moist from outside, moisture or rains and all that. It has to carry a layer which is waterproof. Unfortunately,
correct.
that is why most of the food products you will see in the plastic packaging. However, there are a lot of food packaging which is coming into the biodegradable options, which means it can be I will not say biodegradable, it's recycling. Okay, it can be recycled back to other kind of plastic. Okay, so people should responsibly use those kind of packaging. Ready to eat food, whatever is being delivered today, उसमें काफी sustainability आ चुकी है. I see those packages which are made from paper and all. Okay, because वहाँ पे longevity ज़्यादा नहीं है. You have to just deliver the food at home within 1 hour, 2 hour, and it has to last for that much time. That is also coming in there. But now let me point out a very important thing to you. It will be all driven by consumers, not by the companies. If my consumers stop asking or stop taking food in the in the plastic bags, I will have to find a solution. There are a lot of people in my this thing. They say, no, I don't want this plastic bag. What you give me, I will send you my thela. You return it back in the next order. Take my bottles back. Once I have consumed oil, you can reuse them. Take my bag back. So once there is a enough demand coming from consumers, then you will have to live that kind of solution for plastic related things, because nobody wants to use plastic, but unfortunately everybody wants that convenience which comes with plastic.
Correct. So I think that's where it is consumer-centric market. That's what the modern days of market look like.
Yes.
Now we have Sumit who asks that what are the key drivers behind the growth of the functional foods and nutraceutical market?
Uh, okay, so I didn't understand the second word, but I can talk about functional food. So generally, for everybody's sake, I'm defining this. Functional foods are foods which are targeted specific to medical conditions. Okay, it could be preventive or it could be as a cure also. Diabetes is one of the most prevailing thing. Okay, obesity, diabetes, PCOS in females, which is very similar to diabetes, which has to do with sugar and all. Okay, gut health. Okay, these are the kind of things people seek solution from their food. Okay, and it is available. Functional food is real today. As I was showing the example of our AI expert, most of our consumers who are interacting with our AI expert is for requirement of their functional food. Okay. I have this kind of problem. Can I eat this? I have this kind of problem. Can I eat this? Should I consume more carbs or not? Should I consume more protein? I have a very high activity level. So functional food are for real. There are a lot of good companies who are targeting consumers with their specific functional food created for these consumers. And there are companies who are targeting specific. For example, there are companies who are targeting diabetes patients. All their products are targeted towards reversal of diabetes or prevention of diabetes, for example. Okay. So functional food market is really exploding and it will explode further. I hope I answered his questions. The second
Correct.
term I couldn't
And
understand. The second
yes,
word
I
I
think
couldn't understand.
if it was not misspelled, it was neuraceutical. But again, I might have to Google the meaning of that as well.
I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I'm not aware of this word. I will definitely learn after this session.
I think we both will. Yes, definitely. Then we have Avinash who asks, what are the environmental benefits of sustainable food sourcing?
Okay, let me give one example to you. Millets use 1/10 of the water which is required to grow your wheat and other popular grains. So now you can calculate on your own what kind of differentiation will it make if you grow more millets. Okay. So this is where I'm coming to finally sustainability. See, we cannot skip away from it. It's a reality. We are decaying this earth. Okay, this planet will be dead after some time if we continue to do what we are doing. Everyone knows this. However, sustainable food practices can help a lot. I was telling you 40% of the food what we produce is wasted. It is never consumed by anybody. Okay. How we can stop it? I have a one LinkedIn post which I created urging government also to take action. For example, your best before dates. Okay. Something has to be done there. A lot of food is just because the norms are there. You go to a retail store, it is written best before 24th of February, they will just throw it away. They will just discard it. They will not give it to any human being. And there is a chance that food is still consumable. So we need to understand this and change the norms. Number one. Number two, overproduction of food, filling the shelf of retail stores. I'm telling you, there is no need to actually. Companies like us are doing zero waste production. That means we produce what is demanded by our customers. We just have demand projection for 1 day or 2 day maximum. Okay, for that matter, flours and all we are grinding them daily. Okay, if you come to my factory, you will not see any packet of freshly milled flour lying there without being packed for a customer. So imagine how much in last 3 years I would have reduced that waste. Every grain what I've milled is consumed by some. So this
Wow.
is where our sustainable practice are going to help.
I think that definitely answered the question. And moving on, we have Rajesh who asks, what are the advantages of indoor vertical farming? And he also has another question, which is, how does the use of IoT devices help in managing food supply chains?
Okay, so there are two questions. I will answer them. See, vertical farming is happening because there is a lack of space. Okay, we can only grow vertically, and there are a lot of good cash crops. You'll be surprised in Noida, somebody is growing saffron, kesar in Noida, which everybody thought it can be only grown in a very cold place like Kashmir and other places, but he's growing it. It's a cash crop. Okay, it gives you a very good ROI on your investment. Okay. Vertical farming is required especially for produce which are not required in very higher quantities. Okay, and in certain places where there is no availability of plain agriculturable land, then you have to do vertical farming. There is no other option. I am not very equipped with the knowledge of agricultural part of the food right now to tell you all other developments happening in this field, but as a consumer of agricultural produce, I know that vertical farming is happening. It's fun. Number two, what was the other question? I'm sorry, I just missed that.
How does the use of IoT devices help in managing the supply chain in the food industry?
Yeah, so IoT devices can help automate. As I was telling you, the example of momos, okay, or for that matter, any ingredient. If I want to see, if I'm running 20 restaurants, I can't be present everywhere. CCTVs are
Correct.
not going to help me. CCTV don't analyze anything. I can't look at hours of recording to find out who did what. Okay, no, no way you can do that. It's only CCTVs are used only for in a reactive mode, in a reactive situation. Proactively putting IoT devices and AI behind it can actually help the owners understand whether the right kind of quality is being supplied to the consumer, whatever is being committed, whether the people who are manufacturing it, like in my case, I have not graduated to that level of automation right now. But for example, multigrains, if I put one IoT device with some AI backup on top of my Chakki, I can find out whether my team has made this right kind of multigrain mix for a consumer or not. And even the consumer can be sent that report of that analysis that this is what is being ground for you, and this has 40% wheat, 20% jar, that IoT device is calculated for you. So this kind of IoT devices can be very well used in food industry. There's one example, but there are multiple possibilities.
I'm sure, I'm sure. I mean, that's just one example of how technologies and how advancements take over all the industries, and there's ample of them if you look at it. Then we have Melvin Joy, who says, how are customer feedback and data analytics used to drive improvements in food services and products?
So let me tell you, Melvin, food industry is 100% driven by repeat customers. Okay. You have to acquire new customers, but repeat customers are your lifeline. Losing customers is very, very painful in food industry. Okay. One should take whatever step needed to stop a customer from being churned from them. Because the lifetime value is very high. If you are letting a customer go, you are missing on a very big lifetime value. Let me give you an example of two different industries. If you target a garment, consumer, okay, he might buy two products from your brand, maybe three, maybe four. If he's a very avid lover of your brand, he might buy 10 products in a year. But if you talk of flowers, spices, cold pressed oils, he has to consume it every 15th day. So if you have got a customer on board and you are able to retain him, you have a customer for life. You can't imagine what kind of revenue he will give it to you throughout his life if you are able to make his life happy with your products. So you should go any mile to hold that customer. And I'm telling you, I personally do it. And I'm vouching for it. Every time a customer gets upset with my staff, okay, I personally talk to them. Even at this scale of business, I personally talk to these consumers, especially when they're upset. Because I know sometime my team may not be able to give them different perspective. And once I talk to them, they have a different level of satisfaction because they understand that a founder is reachable to. I leave my number with them. Not only I talk to them, I leave my number with them. That in case of any escalation, feel free to talk to me. So this is the kind of trust you have to build by the customer, especially in food, because food is something people are very sensitive about.
That's very true. I think your brand value stands with your value first. So you create that brand with the presence. That's absolutely true. Then we have Kripa Shetty, who says people usually see the price rather than quality. Again, very rightly said, Kripa. And how crucial do you think this aspect is?
Yes, you have to find a balance. So in the startup, there is something, a word which is called product market fit. Okay. I may have best of the atta in the world, but I can't sell it for 200 rupees a kg. Okay. No matter I am handpicking myself every grain, but I can't still sell for 200 rupees a kg. Okay. So this is what is called product market fit. Going by these standards in the consumer industry, you need to understand even a consumer does a trade-off between price and the quality. Okay. Why every time he doesn't choose the highest price product or the lowest price? Why every time he doesn't choose the highest quality product or the lowest quality? So it's a spectrum. It is totally dependent upon your. You just go back to the slide of first slide if you remember the values, 10, 12 values. It totally depends upon how that customer is prioritizing those values. If price comes first or the quality comes first, or the convenience comes first, or the affordability comes first, or the health comes first. It totally depends on that. I'm telling you, if a person is suffering from diabetes, you tell him it is 300 rupees kilo atta, he'll buy it. Trust me, he'll buy it. So,
Requirement. That's the
yes,
need.
requirement. So, generally, what you should do is have a trade-off. Don't go for the lowest quality, because lowest quality is not going to, fetch you the best price always. And don't go for the lowest price also. Okay, it's not necessary that every good thing is available at a lower price than, other products. So try to find out a middle way. And fortunately, my product fit is also into that segment. I am not into the premium segment. I am not into the cheapest segment. So when we launched Chakki Peesing product, we were very clear which segment we have to operate. Product market fit is very important for a food brand. Okay. Another thing I will give an advice to everybody today is, before price, start reading labels, the ingredient labels. Okay. There's a friend of mine, I don't want to name him. On LinkedIn, he has created a lot of uproar about very famous brands, their labels, and the kind of filthy things they are putting in their food products. Read those labels. What I'm going to tell you is going to shock you. Your brown bread, which you have shifted from white bread to brown bread, thinking it is healthy, it has 80% maida, just
Yeah.
20% wheat. Okay. So this is what we are talking about. Your soup, nor soup, has only 8% tomato. Okay, so read the ingredients much before your prices.
Correct. I think that's the most valuable piece of advice as a consumer that anyone would require. Read your
Well,
labels, know your product.
I will tell you the harsh reality of flour industry. Okay, why I am in this business. Packaged atta companies, they put benzoyl peroxide, which is used as a flour improviser for making white flour and, expiry date expansion, increasing the shelf life. And they do it much beyond the permissible limits. Number one, they take away the bran, the fiber of the grain away. Okay, which makes people constipated. Then they will put an anti-constipating agent into. Okay, they will put sodium bicarbonate so that roti can puff. Okay, these are the kind of practices. Please find out yourself what is in your food products first of all. Okay, if it's a clean label product, it is much better. No matter if you are paying 20% premium, trust me, you are going to pay
Correct.
much more in your medical bills of this.
Correct. That's absolutely right. And I think that brings us to the last question that we have from Devji, that what would be your advice to the aspiring entrepreneurs or, in general, the young generation who want to get into this food and beverages industry, and how can they cope with that competition? What should they look out for?
Okay. Though it can't be, summed up in a 1 minute answer, but let me try to give you some points. First of all, try to understand what market you are going to operate in. So there are two kind of markets. One is called red ocean market. Second is called blue ocean.
Viewers. Yes.
So in red ocean market, the product is highly selling. Biryani was an example of red ocean. Okay. Blue ocean market is somewhere, I would say, maybe a very niche. Oat milk. Oat milk is a blue ocean. Okay. Less competition, but less consumers. Red ocean is where everybody wants biryani and there are hundreds of competitors, but still it will sell. Okay. First of all, you decide in which segment do you want to operate. Number one. Both the segments are okay. There is no harm in either of the segment. Then you find the gap. I always tell people there is a very big gap in Indian market for 100 rupees coffee. There is no 100 rupee coffee available in the country. You either get at a thela for 30 rupees or you get at 200, 250 rupees in one of these shops. 100 rupee coffee doesn't exist. 120 rupees, 100 rupees, 80 rupees kind of coffee doesn't exist. It's a gap. Coffee is no brainer, okay? But it's a gap. So if somebody creates a good product around it, then he has a product market. But before that, you have to also explore whether people are going to buy that or not. And if they are going to buy 100 rupees coffee, they want a thela kind of experience or they want a cafe kind of experience. Okay. Once you know that, you can create that kind of product market. So 2 points. Number one, find out which market do you want to operate in. Second is have your product market fit. Number three, control on the costs. if you don't have control on the ingredient costs, there's a 90% chance that you are going to fail. Unless you are commanding a very high premium and you have a consumer base which is paying a very big premium. Okay. Because eventually, most of the products, they are replicable in the industry. You come out with one new product, 10 companies can just replicate that product. Because ingredient आपको लिखना पड़ता है आपके product के ऊपर. They will order food product from you, find out the ingredient, experiment couple of times, and they'll figure out. It's no brainer. But I'm saying, so if you have a control on the cost, then you can maneuver the prices, you can control the prices, you can have a better proposition to the consumer. Okay, these kind of things. This is my third point. Okay. Then you need to do a lot of consumer research. Lot of consumer.
Yes.
No matter how good a product is, if there's a no consumer for it, it will fail miserably. A lot of products have failed, and even in the food industry. Okay, they could not find any consumer for them. Okay, so that's that we need to understand. So these are 3 4 points, but I think we can always have a detailed discussion. They can reach out to me. I will give you my mail ID or something. If they want to really make a business case, I can help them do one.
Definitely. That's really very generous of you, Rajiv. We have a couple of questions, the last minute poppers. So I'll take both the questions together and you can just answer them one by one. So we have one question, which is, what is your opinion about the food delivery market? And the second one, somewhere related to that, is how is AI changing food lifestyle in context to India, I believe, as compared to US and UK? So like the
Okay.
Western world and the Indian traditional world that we have here.
So we were just getting settled with Zomato and Swiggy, and then we have Blinkit. Okay. And I'm telling you, it is like, no path back from there. It's about comfort and convenience. Not many people are aware that Blinkit is big way selling even electronics, mixie jars from their platform. Who would require a mixie jar in just 10 minutes? Okay, but why not? The question is why not? See, if I'm planning to buy a mixie, why should I even wait for 2 days? This is where they have hit the consumer very, very nicely. Okay, they have created that demand. Earlier, they faced a lot of criticism around they are risking the delivery people's life. Why people require it in 10 minutes? They are unnecessarily changing. But today, I'm telling you as a consumer myself, you know, my local person from the nearby market cannot get me those things before Blinkit comes in and delivers me these things. Okay, they have created a system, they have used technology. So delivery is very, very much required. I was telling you in the whole list of values, I had marked convenience. I have highlighted convenience.
Convenience.
It solved the problem of convenience. Okay. Imagine a guest at home. Okay, you are missing certain ingredients. Okay, by the time you're talking to the guest, serving them water, the Blinkit arrives. Imagine this kind of convenience. Okay. Secondly, about the AI. See, AI is being used at the back end by many companies to create recipes, to find out taste preferences, nutritional performances, and all for sure. Okay. If you have large amount of data of people, you can definitely find out their preferences, taste preferences, and all. And that's how you will realize that some of the recipes are always a hit. You know, However, AI has to do a lot of work yet. Okay. Ever since ChatGPT has been launched around 1 year back, okay, it has opened a different kind of platform altogether. Okay. There's a lot of research going in AI side, and in 3 4 years, some of the very basic things will be taken over by AI for sure. Okay. Creativity is going to take a hit for sure, creative writing and all. But in the food industry, AI can definitely help you choose right personal nutrition food for you, as the example I had shown you on my website. Okay, you can actually eat what you are supposed to. You can actually get your food prepared to the prescription of your dietitian or prescription of your gym instructor without spending a lot of money. If you want a 1400 calorie diet in a day, okay, and you want to specify the ingredients also, I think it can create a diet. No, it's going to be a no brainer answer. So this is the kind of usage of AI going to be there in the industry.
And with that, I think we don't have any more questions, and that's bring us to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, Rajiv, first of all, for joining us here, for sharing all these insights and in-depth knowledge of how the industry that we so closely use on a daily basis, and yet we don't have much information about it works. And that was really an amazing session. I would also like to thank all the audiences for being such a patient and such an amazing, fantastic audience. And for those who are eagerly waiting for their certificates from today's session, they will be sent out to you in the next 24 to 48 working hours. And yes, to stay updated on the latest next upcoming IRE talk, please do reach out to us on our social media. Stay connected on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. And I am Philip Bansal, your host, signing off. And I promise you that we will be back soon with another exciting IRE talk powered by GIBS Business School. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Palak, and thank you, everyone. Thank you.